It seems I always get this question. People always ask me like, well, why would we do this? Like, why would we fall from eternity and all this type of thing? Like, it always has to do with being seen. It is totally pride. That's why you got this metaphor for Lucifer or Satan or Kronos, Saturn, whatever you want to call it, the morning star. You know, that is the keeper of time, the keeper of being rational, because it was a fallen angel that came from infinity and wanted to be finite because it didn't want to work in the scheme of things. It didn't want to. This is the the metaphor that there's this entity that was infinite, and it created a less infinite entity, or it subjected itself to an experience that was less infinite, and the label that we call that experience is Lucifer or whatever. So the angel or angle of light is coming from infinity because it wants to be seen, because it wants to view its willpower instead of allowing itself to see the overall will, the universal will. It's just like pushing yourself to find a boundary so that you can feel like something is against you. People want to be in relationships so they can feel like someone's against their skin. That's just because you want to be seen, so you can absorb. And it's a facetiousness. It's pride. That's what pride births all other what people call sin. It comes from lying to yourself. It's basically like God lied to itself, and the lie is the devil, which is the body. So the lie creates the separation and the negation, because the lie is you're going from being infinite to being finite, which is a lie. It's just you're subjecting yourself to that. So as you go through that process of the lie, it's just like if you're any of the heavenly bodies, like they have to learn whole nother ways of helping themselves through other people, and learning themselves through other people by helping themselves through other people, so where they can graduate and manifest to what you call a higher level of existence, or a level of oneness, which is less, more infinite and less finite. So you're going from a state of like, God wants me to do this, God wants me to do this, yourself wants me to do this. This is the natural flow of life, but I have created an attachment to something or somebody, and I want to see things go the course this way. And people fight to try to rearrange things, but the course is what it is. It's like, you go from A to C, or no, you go from A to G or something. And, people might go A, B, back to A, to C, to D, to whatever, however, but you're going to go to A to G regardless. That course is happening, however you do it. That's what people call free will. You're going to take 3 steps out the door, but you took a side step instead, but you're ultimately still going out the door. It's, that the bullshit in between is what people are calling free will. But that's just playing with the arrangement of life, like it's just like redecorating things, but the ingredients are the same. So you're going from a state of like, I want people to see me. I want these other lesser beings to see me, these less infinite beings to see me, so that I can absorb, the praise for one, and I can experience separation through them, and I can also feel like I have power instead of aligning myself with the one source of power. So it's just a total ego thing to think that you can lie to yourself to get away with it. It's like God lied to itself, and the whole process of life is God trying to get away with it, and then realizing that there's no separation and you can't get away with it, and then you return to the God state. But it's just the infinite experiencing infinitude through this illusion of what's finite. It's still infinity, but it's with this subjection. You're subjecting the consciousness to fragmented awareness, which are human bodies, animals, or whatever you want to call it. But it's just going from seeing and aligning yourself with life itself, or the Tao, and so you can see clearly. And once you can see, you flow with life, and it's effortless. But when you want, when you get attached to things, you're like, oh man, I'm looking out my eyes and I'm not looking at what I want to see, because I want, you want to want. So as you go from that state, you go from like, all right, I need to be seen so I can make a change in the world. So you go from metaphysical, or from the darkness, into the physical. Just so you, I want to change the world, but the world's sacred. You can't change it. You got to have faith in the way things are. I mean, it is what it is. Like it, whether, the bad man is the good man's job, and the good man is the bad man's teacher. It's like one soul's going in, one's going out, and they're like, they're bouncing off each other, reflecting each other's experience and perspective, and they're there. We can say they're not there in a sense, because it's all just moving parts of a whole. So there's no separation. But as you continue to want and want to change things, then the more you take physical form, and then you allow yourself to be changed. Because if you think you can change things, then you become changed. And then as you become more and more compromised, then, of course, you just get lost in the sauce. And then now you're at this point where you're like, well, why did we do that? And it's just, it's a part of the part of you that can see further or furthest it has already set the course. So now you're just in this state where you're looking from the valley instead of the mountain. Basically, you're looking from in that, the shadow of death. And so that once you ascend or descend, or however you want to attach it, you'll get the perspective again, and it's all happening all day. Every single day you go through this process, So it's just, how much do you want to be seen, and how much do you see, and are you okay with that? Have you accepted what you see?